right now would be a perfect time to go to watchthejunkies.com. You can see our next guest in studio. We're joined by Tom Green. He's in town. He's performing at the Arlington Cinema and Draft House tonight and tomorrow. For your tickets, go to arlingtondrafthouse.com.
Yeah.
And I think this qualifies. I think we could say Tom Green, a legend.
Yes.
A legend.
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh.
Right?
Wow.
That is
I think he's a legend.
Tom, you want some vodka?
No, we've got some.
Well,
It's early.
I'll take some for later, but
Not for now.
Yeah, I don't think he goes that hard. 9:20.
Are you a drinker? I would be drinking.
am I a drinker?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, sure, yeah.
Are you?
Yeah, I'll admit that. Yeah.
What's your poison?
Yeah. Well, I like vodka. I like. I like vodka. Yeah. I like martinis. Dirty martinis. Probably my drink I would have.
No, you're right. Like Cakes is every night, couple beers before he goes to sleep. Right?
Absolutely.
That's pretty much
That's
the
the
deal.
routine.
What's your routine? What's your just like when you go out, or is it a daily? I'm gonna end it.
What's the routine? I don't want to get in too much detail, and it starts to sound bad when you know the exact routine.
Right.
Are you just a weekend drinker, or
No, not at all.
Not reserved just for the weekend. It's too good to just reserve for the weekend.
It's too much fun.
I'm touring, doing stand-up, so I live in bars. I'm in bars every night.
That's true.
No, but I've gotten good at kind of limiting it in the last couple of years. Because the thing is I don't really like being drunk on stage.
Yeah.
Is that true? You wait till after?
I do. I wait till after the show.
So you don't
that's
have one before you go out?
I
Just
don't
one?
even like
Nothing.
to.
Really?
Sometimes I'll have a beer.
Yeah.
A beer before, but I'll never have a drink before I go
Because it
on
will
stage.
dull you and slow you down a little bit, right?
It's amazing. You think that you're funnier when you're drunk. Everybody thinks that.
Right.
But when you start really focusing on stand up and sort of
Timing
you
and
have
everything.
exactly. You have jokes and you have things that you want to do, and in your mind you want to say it a certain way, and then you have a couple of drinks and you get on stage and it's just not coming out of your mouth the way that it's supposed to. You really realize that it's not a good
are
thing.
you a
So you just drink a lot more after the show.
Right. You double up after.
do you get real anxious before a show, or have you been doing it long enough where you just have a comfort zone now?
Yeah, no, I mean, I always get nervous before the show, which is, I think, kind of normal. Most comics do, I think. But and that's why the urge is to knock that nervous energy off with a drink or two.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But then I like to save up that energy for the stage. Yeah.
I don't subscribe to this, but I've heard some comics say you haven't really made it until you've gone out and bombed in front of a room. Because then you realize how you recover, how you get past it.
Well, doesn't that happen repeatedly over and over and over, no matter how good you are?
It's just got to be the worst feeling, though. When you're just, you think you've got your material, you're working, your A game's on, and it's just not working for whatever reason. Has that happened to you? Do you feel like you have to have that happen at some point to get better at what you're doing? I wouldn't think that. I would want to kill every night.
I never bomb.
Very good. Perfect. That's great. It's a perfect
I don't want to sound like, but I never really bomb
Is
anymore.
that true?
Yeah, I never bomb. No, I just destroy it every night. I'm serious. I mean, I basically go up and just destroy it every single night.
I would believe that.
Yeah, I mean, when I was 15 years old is when I started doing stand-up. You'd have nights where you didn't know what you were doing. But at a certain point, when you've been doing comedy long enough, you have enough material, you have enough things to talk about. Basically, when you bomb, the way you bomb doing stand-up is you forget what you're going to say, or if a joke doesn't work, you don't tell another one immediately that does work. Like if you tell 3 in a row that don't work, or 4 in a row that don't work,
you're really in trouble.
Yeah, then you start to bomb. But like there's no reason why, if you've been doing comedy long enough, you would ever tell 4 jokes in a row that don't work. Because if one doesn't work, then you go, oh, well, maybe I'd better tell a good one.
Right.
Go to the guarantee.
One of the standards.
Yeah. So but if when you're, I guess you could potentially bomb if you got up on stage and said, oh, I'm going to improv for half an hour and see what happens. But even that, you kind of have
I hear
things you can do and places you can go. The trick is just never stop talking if and go to something that that works. If you don't have anything that works, then you'll bomb.
What's the worst spot that you performed at? Because for some reason, while you're talking about this, about bombing, it just flashed me. About 10 years ago, we used to have this TV show, and we filmed it from Hooters. And there was a guy that did like stand-up in the middle of a Hooters where nobody was paying attention to him. I just completely felt bad for him. What's the worst spot that you performed at?
I guess that's a way you could potentially bomb too. Is if you're
Wrong
playing and you're not playing in the right club, you're playing like at a sort of a convention that people are there for something else, and then you jump up in the corner, like to, which I've had a few occasions like that where it's just been not an ideal setting. But Yeah, I mean, the worst place, well, I don't know, there's been a few weird ones.
You ever do like a house party or something where somebody pays you a bunch of dough to entertain like
I mean,
rich
I did a
people?
show in like a bowling alley a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, that was kind of weird. You know, we got the... Nice.
Bring back memories.
That's pretty
Look at that
good.
with the quickness.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
That was good.
But no, it's you know, I tend to like have fun everywhere I go though, so it's
Here's
cool.
the thing: as I introduced Tom, I think he's a real legend because we've had him in studio before and we've talked to him before about how he was a real pioneer before Jackass and all that stuff. You had Tom in the Tom Green Show, whatever they called it on MTV, and running around with the poop on the microphone. I thought it was genius.
It was called the Tom Green Show.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what they call it.
Revolutionary title.
Right.
Hey, you got to get the brand out there.
But I didn't
Something
remember,
wrong
I
with
didn't
that.
remember exactly what it was called.
Yeah, yeah.
But obviously it was way pre-Jackass, and those guys have blown up and done.
I
done
called
whole
it the
thing.
Tom Green Show so I wouldn't forget what it was called.
Right, right, I get it. But then after that, then you went into, I mean, obviously you've done movies and everything, but then he was also way ahead of his time in like online streaming. He did the Tom Green Show from his house, cakes. Now everybody's like broadcasting from their house
right.
and podcasting and all of that.
Yeah.
Really, I'm telling you, this guy's a freaking pioneer.
Yeah.
He's way ahead of his
We're
time.
following his lead.
You know,
You're right.
It was fun doing a live streaming show in 2005 because, and it's fun now, but in 2005 it was literally the only show that
Right.
was streaming live, and so we had crazy ratings. Like we had
Dominated the market.
Yeah, we had like 6 million viewers watching, you know, one episode sometime.
Wow.
Problem is nobody was buying advertising on the
At
the
that
web.
time, right.
So I was just sitting there kind of going, hey, come on, I got like more people watching this, you know, like 8 million people watched this episode, you know,
Right.
and I'd be showing them the web statistics. And people would be looking, I go, what are those web statistics? You know?
Right.
What is that? What is this we're looking at?
Right. How
So,
long did it take before you capitalized on it where you actually were starting to make some dough?
Never.
Is that true?
Never,
that
really.
true?
Yeah, pretty much, because I mean we made a little bit. I mean the way it worked out well though is in the end is it led to me starting to tour doing stand up, which kind of was a lot of fun, and then now I've got this new TV show on Access TV, so
Right.
it kind of led to the show on Access
And then
TV.
you're-
So
you're-
that paid off that way.
The Tom Green Show that he actually did, Jason, from his house, I don't know if you ever saw it, was, I mean, it was like, he was like doing like a late night talk show from his freaking house and having big, you know, like A-list celebrities showing up in his family room or wherever his studio was.
Yeah.
I mean, it really was kind of revolutionary at the time. And
Yeah.
now everyone's doing it.
Yeah, it was fun. It was really fun.
Who was the biggest guy that you like? Did you have like Tom Cruise at us? Like, who came to your house?
We didn't have Tom Cruise, but we had.
Can you imagine people just showing up to Tom's house?
Yeah, I mean, we had lots of people did the show. I mean, some really.
Do you have a Mount Rushmore? We were trying to go through our Mount Rushmore. You were right on the cusp.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were.
We had like Magic Johnson, Cal Ripken, and then we were like, do we put Tom in there? Because we like Tom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
I
was
think
like-
I wanted to put Tom in, then you guys all shot it down.
I think Casey was the one that shot it down.
Yeah, it was me.
I mean, this season on Access TV, we've had some great guests. We had Steve Carell did the show.
Right.
We had Dan Rather, Larry King did the show. I've had some really interesting people, like
Some old guys in there.
Yeah, Carl Reiner did the show. You know,
Do
which
you
was
get
amazing.
nervous speaking to them because maybe some of them are like kind of like heroes of yours or icons of yours type deal?
I always get nervous, like before.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, I always get nervous because I basically am trying to think of everything that I have to say, and so I sort of have organizing all these questions and ideas in my head, and then that's just where my nervousness
Do
comes from,
any of
worrying
them-
that I'm going to forget what I'm going to
Do
do.
any of those people, let's just go with Dan Rather, do they ever come up to you and go, man, I love that Slutmobile episode?
I gotta imagine they
Who
do.
doesn't love that episode?
Yeah, Dan Rather. I don't know if Dan Rather was familiar with the Slutmobile, but he was super cool. We drank whiskey shots. He taught me how to chew tobacco on the show.
Oh, yeah, that's
Nice.
So it's pretty cool. And I do kind of get a little more nervous when it's somebody who's a legendary interviewer or a journalist like Dan Rather, who, you know, has interviewed more people than anyone in history, and now he's sitting down and I'm
Like
interviewing him.
dictators and yeah.
He knows, you know, what I'm doing wrong. You know, so I do sort of get a little, you know, when you're interviewing Larry King, and my show is essentially modeled after his show his format of his show. So that was kind of surreal. But had Dick Cavett on a few weeks ago. We do have a lot of the old school legendary guys. But, you know, we've had, I mean, Andrew Dice Clay was on the show recently. That's a hilarious interview.
Right.
You know, he's a friend of mine now who I met initially when he came and did my internet show, the web show. And that was the thing about doing the show in my house. Was people would come up and do the show, and then when we'd be at my house and we'd just hang out and have some, yeah, we wouldn't leave. Norm Macdonald, Norm Macdonald was somebody who was a huge fan of growing up. He's Canadian. I grew up as a huge fan of his stand-up, and all of a sudden I got to know Norm when he'd come do my internet show, and then he'd hang out after the show, and we'd have a few beers and go online and just be surfing around YouTube for hours. This was when YouTube was new, right? So we were watching it like, wow, look at this YouTube thing. Wow. But so
it's funny? Some comedians like to do that. Remember Florentine? We've had him in studio several times. But I remember one time Florentine came to hang out.
He did the web show. We used to prank call Japan in the middle of the night on my web show.
He just wanted to hang with us. And we were trying to explain to Jim, we just leave after the show.
Yeah.
We was like, what are you guys doing? What are you doing, fellas?
He had like 5 hours to kill, and he liked us.
We're like, we're going home. We're going to take a nap. You want to come home and take a nap? Well, you can do that.
Well, Rich Voss, same way.
Voss does the same thing. He just wants to go play golf.
He just wants to play golf with us.
That whole friendly conversation we had was fake.
It was fake. We really don't like you that much.
It's true. It's sad, but it's true.
All right, Tom Green's in studio with us. You can catch him at the Arlington Cinema and Draft House tonight, tomorrow. Tickets go to arlingtondrafthouse.com. For those that don't know, how is your stand-up comedy act different? Do you tell stories about your life, or is the act completely different?
I don't talk a whole lot about my life. A little bit. I touch on some of the things from the show, but I mean, obviously the television show was more about pranks, and I was going out in the street and doing crazy pranks and stuff. But I talk a lot about just stuff, just all sorts of random subjects, things that I find are ridiculous. I talk a lot about technology. I talk about the human condition. I spend a lot of time talking about technology these days and how it's kind of screwing up our lives and how we're addicted to our cell phones and our Facebook pages. And I paint a lot of scenarios on how that messes up relationships. I talk to a lot of couples in the audience, and I ask them about their online habits, and I sort of paint some weird scenarios about how that can get you in trouble.
Well, like, people will panic.
Significant other.
EB will panic if he doesn't have like internet service.
Oh, if I go like this and I don't find my phone, I start to have anxiety.
Are you that way, Tom? If you don't have your phone with you,
I was.
You
but
start panicking.
It's interesting because I started really getting like that, really addicted to my phone and constantly tweeting, constantly texting, and it really bothered me. And I recently just got rid of my phone and got a new phone. Like, I got rid of my old phone number. I got a new phone.
Got rid of all your friends.
I got rid of all my friends. Really, literally, I did. But it was basically, I realized, like, my phone I had for 10 years. And every single person I'd ever given my phone number to over the last 10 years had my phone.
Had access to you.
And so with 10 years worth of people, every day you'll get 10 people just maybe reaching out and saying hi, right? And you say hi back, right? And then they say hi, and then all of a sudden you're sort of constantly texting with people, right? And so I realized I've been maintaining relationships and talking to people that I haven't seen in 5 years, who I maybe talk to once a week or something like that.
You don't even care about them.
Yeah, I don't care about them. They don't care about me. They don't care about me enough to actually come visit me or pop by the house or go grab lunch.
You want to simplify your life.
So I simplified it. I got the new phone, and I still have the old phone, but I just leave it at home. And the new phone, I just have my 25 best friends and people that I need to talk to. And
that's it.
And that's it. And it's great. It's great. I'm on the road, and then when I get home, I go on the road for a week. I get home, I check the old phone. Oh, there's 20 messages from people that I don't really need to talk to.
They don't care about.
I can respond to them, but I'm not stuck in that groove of sitting there all day, looking at my phone all day, because someone texts you, and then you respond, and they respond, then you respond, then they respond, then you respond. You're sitting, you just killed 20 minutes talking to somebody you don't need to talk to.
And you said nothing to them.
Yeah, exactly.
There's no real meaningful
and
conversation.
It's like misspellings. You look like an idiot.
I don't like that stuff. So and then Facebook. I kind of canceled my Facebook for a long time. Now I'm back on Facebook, but I canceled my Facebook when I'm back on the Facebook.
Do you have Instagram? Tumblr?
Yeah.
Do you have all that stuff?
I have Twitter. I just tweeted that that we're on now. So because you guys tweeted that we're streaming live. So then I retweeted that, and so cut to camera 3. Can you zoom in? Can you zoom in?
Do that.
Hey guys, how are you? I told you I was gonna come on in 20 minutes, and here we are, guys. Hi. I'm talking to my Twitter following right now. Yeah, at Tom Green Live. At Tom Green Live. They're watching right now. I told you it was gonna work. Hey guys, hey guys, how are you? I'm not. That's the thing about radio and video.
Yeah.
When you sync it together, sometimes I don't know who to talk to.
Yeah.
You know, you notice
do you
that
talk to the camera or the guys here?
Yeah,
talk to us.
because like radio is different.
Right.
Yeah.
You talk different on the radio.
Yeah.
You know,
totally.
like when I'm on television, it's more visual.
Right.
Like right now, this is what I would do on television.
You're staring at the camera.
Gives you the Tom
See, but
Green
on radio, that doesn't work on radio.
It doesn't really work.
It
My
works
funny faces don't play on the radio.
All right, Tom Green's hanging out with us. If you want to ask him a question, you can. 800-636-1067.
Yes, phone lines are open.
He's going to be at the Arlington Draft House. Go to arlingtondrafthouse.com for more tickets. More with Tom Green when we come back on The Fan.
Nice.